Flosstube. Welcome to this video. My name is Anna and I'm here to talk about cross stitch. Today is Tuesday, May 3rd, 2022. I had every intention of recording a video over the weekend and then we just got busy with things. Mostly my husband and I were supposed to be traveling to visit family, but the people we were visiting tested positive for COVID. So we ended up canceling our trip and we're going to have a very productive weekend at home. We ended up buying a new board game and spent a lot of time learning that game and playing that game, which was also much needed. And I don't think we realized how much we needed that kind of time to just sit around at home until we started playing. And it was really nice to be able to do that, but that means I wasn't stitching over the weekend and I also didn't get a video recorded. So today is a pretty low energy day, but I wanted to get this video up there just so that I have a record of my own progress before we get too far into May. So it should be a pretty short update and hopefully I don't forget anything. Like I said, it's a low energy day. I'm feeling pretty tired, which is to be expected. You know, I'm just trying to get through this video and then go back to work for the afternoon. So yeah, I guess I'll just get started in the video. So for WIPs, Works in Progress, in April, I worked on my April Prairie Year, and I finished it. So I've got this little bunny. I finished. So this little rabbit is charted with a ribbon, a pink ribbon around its neck. I decided not to do that. And then the irises are also in like a dusty pink color. I decided to change that to these purples because that's what I did with the flowers in the April one that I've already had finished. I left the ribbons off of this duck and I changed the little flowers to purple instead of like a dusty pink color that it's charted with. So that is April finished, and now I can put it away. I still need to lace it. That was the word I was looking for in my last video, when you tighten it around a piece of mat board or whatever so that it's nice and ready to be popped into a frame. It's called lacing. So I'll put these April ones away and I'll get out the one I had finished for May. You might also notice I'm sitting in a different place. I'm still in my upstairs office, but we have started the transition of moving all of my things out of this room so that we can move baby stuff into this room. So I reoriented my desk to make that easier, and now the window's over here. So I'll try to keep that in mind when I'm showing you the things, that's where the best light is. So anyway, this one's going in for May, and this one that I finished is gonna get laced up and then put away until next year. Next April I'll have two that I can pull out and enjoy. So I finished that rabbit. I also finished another rabbit. I was working on a Beatrix Potter project, Peter Rabbit, and I finished. So let's see if I can make it nice. There it is, all finished. So I will insert a picture of where it was before, and also I grabbed a picture before I did the backstitching. There was not a ton of backstitch in this, but it was like the traditional outlining kind, and it made a huge difference to how it looks, and it's so cute with the backstitching done on it. I mean, it was cute without the backstitching. It just made it come to life. It was fun to do it all at once. Let's see if I can show you a little bit closer. Again, try to use the light, but it's just so cute with his little, no, it's amazing that just like a couple of little lines made a nose and like a mouth for the carrot, and then these whiskers are, they said long stitches. I have not done a whole lot of backstitch like in my stitching experience, so I did the long stitches, and then I think it's called couching, where I sort of tacked them down so that they would not be like straight lines. So they'd be like a little wonky the way they were charted. So that's cute. His little hands are outlined. The little tail the backstitching there was really effective because the white just kind of blended in. And then like none of the vegetables are backstitched. The little bird has a little beak and an eye, and that's it. Oh, and the feet. So there it is, Peter Rabbit, all finished. Now this is still a whip because there's one other rabbit that I want to do. This is on 16 count white Aida, and it's just a little too big for a 4x6 frame. But I might still try to put it in there because it's just going to take off some of the greenery on the edge. And then the other pattern I'm going to do has a smaller stitch count, has fewer colors. And so I'm doing that on 14 count, and hopefully they'll end up being about the same size so I can do 2 4x6 frames on them. So yeah, that is my Peter Rabbit finished. Just very exciting. And it's nice to have something kind of simple on Aida. I wanted to show you, these are the flosses that are in both of the rabbits I want to do. So I bobbinated these as I went. I just had like a plastic bag of all the floss, and then when I picked a color, I put it on bobbins, and then I stitched all of it in that color. And then there's some that appeared in this one. So there's a lot of colors to appear in that little chart. These ones all appeared in this big chart, but they're not in the second one I want to do. Like the radish, the red for the radishes and the carrots and things are not in the other chart. So these will go into my stash with other extra flosses that I have. And that is my Peter Rabbit finished. I think we might be joined by my cat in a moment. Oh, and there she is. She really enjoys when I rearrange the furniture. She likes to try out. I mean, this has been here. The tree has been here for a long time, but she likes to try out the different tiers now that the desk has moved. And she likes to sit on this side of my desk and then that side of my desk just to see the best place for her to sit, you know, in her daily routine, I guess. Okay, so those were my 2 rabbit finishes. I do have another rabbit whip that I did not finish. I think that I maybe could have if we didn't buy that board game and play all weekend. But I'm not in a rush to finish it. I just want to keep making progress on it so that I can put it in this room as part of the nursery. And it's the hare. It's a Marishka kit. Yeah, so last time I had made really good progress on this quadrant, and this time I worked upwards into the face. So I'll just show you. And yeah, I'll take it off the hoop really quickly. Okay, so that's where I got to. So like I said, I think that had I given it, you know, a weekend, I might have been able to finish it just because the greenery thins out up in this top corner, and I just got those 2 very large ears to finish and a little bit more on the face, but it's really getting there. There is some back stitching on this, but it's not over every piece. This sort of strategically outlines the rabbit. And then there are 3 like butterflies that have some back stitching in them that I need to do, but you can see that I'm right here. We've just got to finish up these ears and this little bit of greenery, and then it's finished. So I'm excited for this to get done so I can lace it and get a frame for it, and I will probably get a frame for the squirrel also while I'm at it, just because I know I want to start that this year and they can hang together. So yeah, that's how far I got on the rabbit. This light is really making it kind of washed out. It's a lot brighter, especially the flowers, but overall it is kind of a nice muted forest tone. So yeah, that's where I got to on the hare. I almost finished all the rabbits, and I thought about really pushing for it. You can't do that. You got to take time for yourself, whatever that is, whether it's stitching or if it's playing a board game or whatever it is that I need to do to feel rested. That's the whole point of cross stitch, is to be my sort of relaxation time. And if I want to do something else for that time, then that's totally up to me. Alright, so that was that rabbit. The only other project that I worked on in April was I felt like working on full coverage. So I worked on Fright Night. This is a full coverage pattern from Artisy. I see a lot of Heaven and Earth designs out there, and I do have one of those, and I have some more on my wish list. But Artisy, I've enjoyed this project a lot, and they have a lot of different artwork on their website if you want to check it out. But this is Fright Night. This is my beat up cover page. And again, this is the crop version. Fright Night. Yeah, I'm working it in sort of diagonals. So for this one, I actually made it pretty far. I think there are a couple reasons for that. One, I just felt like doing full coverage, so when you're in the mood for that, it just, you kind of get in a rhythm, I think. So this is where I got to, which is a lot of progress. I believe I was partway through this diagonal here, so I finished that and I came back up and did a full other diagonal, and now I have reached the bottom corner of the pattern. So that is the bottom of the pattern right there. And from here on, these columns are not going to grow in size anymore, because as you move over, the columns get longer. But now that I've hit this bottom, they're going to stay the same length until I hit this corner, and then they'll start shrinking up pretty quickly. It's better light, but it's really crooked, isn't it? I think if I'm here next time, I'll line you up on the other side of my desk so that this is a little easier to show. Yeah, let's see if I can get you closer. There we go. So you can see the scarecrow's face. It's kind of a blob when you get up close to it, but it's a face when you pull it back. So I like that a lot. And I work down here on this tree trunk, and then now we're into these fence posts here, and then there's some shadows of the fence posts down here. So we're really getting into the foreground of this project. So you can see like this little fence post here is like the size of this house in the background, or like half the house. So one like solid color in the fence post goes a lot further than these little itty bitty stitches up here. So that's how it is. I think it's going to continue doing that in the foreground. I'll have bigger blocks of color, so each square will go a lot faster. So I was stitching this in like a meticulous stitch by stitch style. This last time I did square by square in diagonals. So I draw my diagonal on the pattern, and then I chose like 100 stitch block, and I stitched that whole block and parked in the next one, and I moved down that way. And it does go a lot faster. It is a little trickier to push the needle through in some thicker spots, but that's what I felt like doing, so that's what I kept going. And there we are. This is my oldest project. I started it in 2018. It's also my second project. I really started stitching in 2018, so I'm still happy with it, but I'm very happy to see good progress on it. And if I feel like doing full coverage in May, I will probably pull this one out. Even though my Heaven and Earth Designs is more springtime and summertime, it's been around for so long. I just need to keep going on it. And I do enjoy working on it, and it's only got 40 colors, so it goes much faster than my HADE, my Heaven and Earth Designs project. So it's another big milestone on this one. I feel like even though I only worked on 4 projects, but that means that I got a lot to see progress on all of them. So I'm going to keep going with that in May. So yeah, I guess that brings us to plans, kind of. My plans for May. My plans this whole year are to work on projects that I have worked on that I started in that month in years past. So in May, I have 3 May starts. So I'm not planning on starting anything new. Oh, that's right. In my last video, I intended to start a new project and just decided against it. We traveled for a wedding. We were going to travel to go see family. We have projects to do on the weekends to do with springtime at the house, and then also in preparation for the new baby. So I just decided a new start was not in the cards. And the start I picked wasn't even on my list of things that I wanted to do this year. So that project has been kitted up, and it's now in my box of things that are ready to start. So I did not start anything new in April, and that's okay this time. So for May, there are 3 projects I've started in May's past, and so I'm going to focus on those 3. The first one I keep in this bag, which is my only FFO. It's my first cross-stitch project ever on like this big, I think it's 11 count Aida. It was one of those, it was a kit off of Amazon. I have no idea if the licensing is legit or if I bought something. Yeah, I don't know, but I bought it, I stitched it, I'm going to use it in this bag, and I love it. So the project I keep in here is Winter Cardinals. It's a dimensions kit. That's what it looks like when it's finished. And I'll show you real quick where I'm starting from for May. And, you know, part of the reason that I wanted to do this video today, even though I'm kind of tired, is I haven't stitched in May at all. And so if I stitch this evening, I just want like a good marker of where I'm at. So here's this project. We are traveling for another wedding this month, so this will probably come with me since it's on Aida. It's on 16 count Dove Gray Aida that comes with the kit, and I have the male cardinal and then all the greenery on this side, plus the back stitching. There's long stitches in the greenery to sort of outline them, and this one's also a lot more saturated than it's looking right now. I don't know how to fix that, but anyway, that's my starting point, and this is one I'll be pulling out for sure in May to work on. Let's see. So I started that, excuse me. I started that in 2019 in May, and by 2020 I had found out about Mania, which I'm not participating in Mania this year, at least not that way. If you guys don't know what Mania is, you can check out one of my older videos, or there's tons of information out there. Oh, excuse me. Anyway, in 2020, I decided I would start Prairie Year 1 and 2. Let's see if I can pull out the covers. You guys have seen it. It's been around since, it's been in my whip pile since 2022, or since 2020. So a full 2 years old now, these things. So these are these little smalls from the Prairie Schooler. I have a Prairie Year 1 and 2. And so in 2020 for Mania, I decided to start this project as 20 little parts. So I have now finished 14. I have 6 left. May, the one for May, this is one of the ones for May, and this is the other one for May. So really did not get a very good start. It might even go this way. I don't know for sure. I don't know which way it goes. I'll have to figure that out. So I've got 6 more of these to go. I'm going to start with May and then go from there. And I would like to finish these this year. I could maybe even finish them this month if I focus just on this. But I'm not going to put any pressure on myself to do that. We'll just see how it goes. These are on different colors of 14 count Aida, so they're also really good to travel with. I put them in, I want to show you the, I put it in a Ziploc bag with a needle minder, a ring of just the colors that are in this one, and then I've got the pattern in here, and then when I am ready to travel, I'll also put my scissors and highlighter and like threader, needles, all that stuff in this little bag, and then I can take this on the airplane and have everything right there without a big project bag to deal with. So that is also something I'm going to work on in May. And then in last year for Mania in 2021, I decided to do a similar mini start, but with way less success than the first year. I decided I would start the 12 Days of Christmas. This is a Mill Hill Jim Shore pattern, and it's very large. And I wanted to at least do the border for each square last year for Mania. I didn't even get close to that. It was just so big, and I had to make decisions about threads and things, so I'll show you how far I got on it, or where I'm at now. I don't even know if you'll be able to see it because of the lighting in here. So I started in the middle, and I started with those borders. Oh gosh, it's light. I started with the borders, and I did get an okay amount done on those. And then I've got one little thread on the 5 golden ring square. So actually I wonder if this is supposed to go this way. It'll be clear when I pull it out to work on it. I think that was right the first time. So anyway, for May, if I feel like working on something on linen and I don't want to do the hair, or I finish the hair, I'll probably focus on this square here, the 5 gold rings. So those are my plans for May. As far as stash goes, I didn't acquire anything. I didn't go shopping for anything in person or online. We were out of town on the weekends, and I've got a lot of stuff. And moving all of this stuff into a new space, I'm moving my office and my craft supplies all into one space instead of having it be spread out amongst some closets in our house. It's making me want to downsize. And so just getting organized with all that stuff, it really dampened my need to go looking for new things. But I did treat myself to a new storage system. I got one of those, I think it's Bisley, metal drawers. I'll insert some pictures. It's, as far as drawers go, it was kind of a splurge for me. But it's such a practical thing. The bobbins fit in there so nicely, and I've got so many like little things to make needle minders and stuff, extra magnets and other tools. It's just such a good little drawer system. So I'll insert some pictures of what that looks like and how it works. And that was like my big acquisition for this month. As far as garden goes, our apple tree is blooming, our lilac bush is blooming. I had asparagus come up. Last year I planted asparagus crowns instead of, some people start from seed. I got some crowns, so I planted those. I'm really happy they survived the winter, but they don't have enough shoots for us to really eat the asparagus. So I think giving it one more year, next year we should have some asparagus in early spring. And yeah, we're installing irrigation into the raised beds that I built last year. So we got some pieces for that. That's a big project that we're working on. It's almost time to start planting vegetables. They say in Colorado that you must wait till after Mother's Day, which is this weekend, just because we could get a surprise like freeze or like a storm, but there's nothing in the forecast. It is dry. It is dry. We had rain yesterday, which was very welcome, but yeah, I think we set a record in April for, I don't want to give out the numbers, but it's one of the driest Aprils on record since they kept records. It was like 1/100th of an inch of moisture out at the airport. I think we got more here at my house. I live closer to the foothills. But out at the airport, they got, like, I don't even know if they can measure how much they got. They got so little. So hoping for some rain this afternoon. We'll see what happens. And yeah, now I'm just rambling, so I'm going to go. I'm going to edit this and then go back to work. So thank you for joining me, and hopefully I'll have more to show you at the end of May. So happy stitching. Bye.